Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Let's Play series. So in the last episode, finished up the auto sorting of the different stones and cobblestones and whatnots for this bulk storage using shulker boxes. I've yet to put the shulker boxes in the dispensers. I haven't been to the end yet, but it is on the agenda. We ended up clearing out this room episodes ago of all of our temporary chests. It's been pretty barren, and we had a little bit of a furnace array set up on this wall. And so today, I think I want to go ahead and just build a full-on super smelter. Now, I have already built two other versions of super smelters in this area. I actually recorded a whole video of one of them and ended up deleting it. I didn't like the way the video was. It felt a little rushed. I also didn't like the system. Everything fit, but it just wasn't right. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've got another design here, or another idea here, using hoppers only. I don't want to use minecarts for reasons I've talked about before. And I'll go through a little bit of why, and I'll do a little bit of a explaining of the redstone behind the minecart hoppers, or minecart chests, running in the system. So, sorry guys, it's early morning for me doing the audio of this video. Now, like I said, I've done two other super smelters. One wrapped the room, and one was just ridiculous. A poor attempt. I built one a long time ago in an old world of mine, and it worked really, really well. So we was planning on building something very, very similar to that, but mine just had a chest. You'd put items in it, a minecart chest. You push a button, off it went. It had a detector rail that would loop the minecart back through if it still had items in it, and it was a pretty neat little system. I don't want to do something like that here, as this is going to be mostly exposed. So, if you've got furnaces set up, hoppers going in the top, you put powered rails on those, have a few blocks coming out of each side, so it gives your chest or your minecart somewhere to kind of bounce back and forth. It will evenly distribute its items across these hoppers as it runs back and forth. Now, you can build a minecart loader. Very, very simple system to build. But there's an issue with building these for what I'm trying to accomplish here with my super smelter. So we need to put a hopper over this powered rail. So this essentially would be your input for your items for your super smelter here. You could place a chest on there or whatever you wanted. Your minecart chest would sit on that powered rail. And then you'd have a block on the side of this comparator like so. And just go ahead and knock this away. A torch. Some redstone dust here. And a repeater running into the block. Now, when there's items passing through that hopper, it'll turn this rail off, letting the items be collected into your minecart chest. Once all the items are out of the hopper, it'll send the minecart off by repowering that rail. Now, the issue with this system is if you do more items than a single chest can carry, so 27 stacks of items, your minecart would never move off that loader. It would just sit there while items were just buffered in the hoppers. So I did find a circuit that would work. That would was kind of a smart system, a smart loader. And the issue with it is it's noisy. So I didn't want to use it. It's kind of a pain, but I'm back and forth in this room all the time. So we're going to build this system with hoppers only. We're going to have some item elevators in one of these two corners here, feeding the system. And what I really want to use is these shulker boxes. I want to create a system to where I can dump some shulker boxes into a chest. It'll take the items out of the shulker boxes, throw them through an item elevator, run them in through the furnace, smelt them, take them back out of the smelter, put them in a shulker box loader, and dispense those shulker boxes full of smelted items into another chest. So essentially I can walk in the room and there would be a chest on one side, put my shulker boxes full of items in that, and then go ahead and wait a little bit and receive those smelted items, in another shulker box in just a few minutes. So that's going to be a lot of different little contraptions, but I think it's going to be fun. So getting back to this furnace array here, this is going to be my input hopper that'll run all the items down here and feed into each one of these individual furnaces. So it's very, very simple redstone. We got to lock all these hoppers so the items will travel through, and then have a little bit of a comparator. Once the first item reaches the last hopper, it will unlock all these hoppers, allowing one item to flow into each furnace and be dispensed equally. So we'll take a comparator output of this hopper here, a comparator, and then that needs to run into a block. And let's see, we need a torch, like so, and then a repeater here. So this system, the biggest you can make it is 15 furnaces, and because I have an even numbered room, I'm going to go ahead and make this a 14 furnace system. Now, this alone is not enough redstone to get your items going through, as they will tend to bunch up, so we need to put another comparator signal being read off of this hopper, and it just helps with clogging, so that we don't have too many items coming in that comparator. It'll release the signal and drop more items with simple comparator input and a redstone dust there. So it'll also unlock that torch if more than one item goes through the hopper. And then the other thing that we need is going to be on this end here. We're going to have some another, what is it? Not a filter, it's a same thing. It's for clogging, a little item buffer going through this input hopper. We want a comparator running into it, and we're going to have a furnace sitting here with a single item in the smelting slot, and we want our comparator set to subtract mode. Now, that just helps with the items coming through. Obviously, if we had a few more items, that would power that hopper, but it's comparing the signal strength that it gets with the redstone coming next to it. And once it gets a certain strength, it only allows a certain amount of items to come through the system before it drops them. And it's all just a simple redstone. That's it. As you can see there, the system just fired. Like I said, this thing and that other circuit on the end just help with clogging issues. So we can get in here now and we're going to put an item elevator somewhere over on this side, like I was saying. Somewhere in here. And it's just going to feed this. Oh, I did that perfect. It's going to feed that hopper there to feed these furnaces eventually. So now if we check all these furnaces, it should be done cycling the items through. And of course I put 63 items in, so it's not going to be an exact equal amount. Yep. Looks like that one furnace out of everything isn't getting items. So that has to deal with the hopper timing. I don't know exactly what's going on. I know that when I tested this in creative, that it was very dependent on where I built it. I built one super smelter probably 10 blocks away from another one, and it was fine. I built this one, like I said, 10 blocks away from the original one, and it was missing 2 furnaces in that. Oh. Sorry about that. That was weird. Anyway, hopefully they'll fix that bug soon. They are working on the Better Together update, which requires a lot of work. I have I've read that they are expanding our worlds on Xbox to Infinite to match the Windows 10 edition as well as the Pocket edition. So it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. They say it's going to be out sometime in fall, so hopefully we'll get it here in a month or so. Anyway, we're doing the coal input line here, and the coal input line is going to be the same redstone as the smelting input. The only difference is this one doesn't require the clogging circuit. So a torch like so. We need a comparator sitting on that block there. Let's just run these blocks out like so. There'll be redstone dust on all of these blocks. And look at me planning that out perfectly. So the first time I built this smelter, I built it in the wrong location. That's why I had to tear it down. The first smelter I built was way too big, too ambitious. Third smelter I built, or well, it would have been technically the second time I built it, was using minecarts, and I've already talked enough about that. I didn't want to use those. And then now we're settled on this this furnace array here. It does have one furnace that's not working, but that's not too bad. So I've only got 13 furnaces that are going to work, unfortunately, but that's still better than one furnace at a time and dumping items in. So we also are going to have some regular furnaces just sitting off to the side so we can do some manual smelting if need be. Oh, I felt the sneeze coming on. Sorry about that. Anyway, we are going to do this room up, make it look nice once we're all done. Unfortunately, this furnace here kind of looks like crap. Let's see, can I? Maybe I could move it. I mean, there's room. I can put the comparator on top of the hopper. Let's see something here. Let's see something here. So, yeah, we could put the comparator on top of this hopper like so. That isn't going to interfere with that. Put this here with our furnace like so. Then our item in. Wait a second. This isn't going to work. It compares the signal coming in from the redstone line right here. Yeah. Anyway, I was hoping I could move that to make it look a little more aesthetically pleasing, but we'll figure something out. No big deal. Let's place this furnace back down, put an item in it, comparator coming out, subtract mode. Alright, well, that would have been nice if we didn't need this. I did test it without that, and items would clog up and this would stop working after a little while. So, I think our next setup or our next goal is to get our shulker box unloader and some item elevators going, and then get a output on this thing as well. So I've got to do some planning, got to do some figuring on what exactly I want to do. Alright, so I'm going to essentially put a chest here. This is going to be the input chest right as you walk in to the right hand side. So the items go over there, and then this will eventually be the output chest. And it's going to be shulker boxes that get inputted into the chests rather than items. So I think that's going to be pretty awesome because we can go out and get like 5-6 shulker boxes full of sand and whatnot, and then come back and simply just dump the shulker boxes into a double chest, go do some stuff around our base, and come back after a few minutes and we should have some items smelted up. Now, this shulker box unloader is not my design. I didn't come up with this. I'm simply going off somebody else's build. I know I said early on in this series I want to try to figure things out for myself. But this is some complicated redstone happenings right here. So what this will do is this will take the items out of the chest, or out of the shulker box, stick them into one side of the hoppers, and then the shulker boxes will be kicked off into another hopper. It's a pretty, actually, it's a very simple circuit that's pretty easy to build. And let's see, we need an observer out of that hopper. I'm trying to build this from memory, so that's going to be sending a pulse into this block. We'll have a sticky piston facing up. I can't remember the name of the person's design, but if you Google shulker box unloaders, or Google it, take it onto YouTube, that'll be the first, I think it's the first video. So this piston here is going to kick the shulker boxes off that will be sitting in the position of where I'm standing after they've been unloaded. So this comparator will read an output from that shulker box, and we'll have that running into a block. Like I said, I'm trying to build this from memory and a screenshot, and it's a little bit of a pain. Let's see, 24. And we need another comparator coming out of here that's going to read a signal off the dispenser. Yeah, this is looking good so far. Actually should have dug this area out just a little bit more. Okay, some redstone dust. We need a block here with some redstone dust as well. Then we need, let's see, think it go, okay. Sorry guys, like I said, I'm looking at a screenshot and trying to build this thing from memory. It's been fun. So that'll pulse that, comes around, fires that to break the shulker box. And I try to understand the redstone when I build somebody else's design or whatever the case may be, and try to figure it out and see how everything works. With these observer blocks, it does change things because they work a little bit, or I'm not 100% on how they work. So those two lines of redstone dust, they're essentially locking this hopper. You'll have, until items are flowing out of the shulker box, it'll be locked for a majority of the time, and then when the items are finally kicked out, that hopper will remain locked, pushing the shulker box into a different set of hoppers. And I actually don't have any dispensers, so I am going to need to craft some. Let's see, let's get a little bit of wood to make some sticks. Actually, I've got a chest, I think, or a shulker box with stuff in it. Yeah, there we go. My miscellaneous box. I think once I get this one dispenser done, I need to go ahead and just craft up a bunch of dispensers, spend the time to do it. I need some cobblestone. 6 cobblestone, I think. No, it's probably 7. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 7. Oh well. I'm a derp. You know, I take all these items out of the crafting table, but something that I don't know if anybody else has talked about in their videos, but if you put items into a crafting bench and then exit out, they used to just throw the items on the ground for you. Now, since the latest update, they will just return into your inventory. So there we go. Dispenser crafted up. I need some glass. I'm trying to stay organized with these shulker boxes. That's why I keep taking them out, putting them back in, taking them out, putting them back in. Now, like I was saying, the dispenser is actually going to sit, let's see, right here, facing down though. There we go. And that'll be, let's see, we need a block of glass here and here. That's just to keep the shulker box, once it's dispensed and kicked out of the system, that'll keep it. Let's see, let's give it a little test. See if we built everything correctly. So I'll shove it. This hopper will eventually be our input, and I actually built this one block over more than I wanted to, so oh well. Did it really unload that fast? Let's see. Nope, it didn't even dispense the item. Okay, let's place the shulker box ourselves. I pulled the items, but now it's not kicking the shulker box off. What did I do wrong here? Let's see, let's try putting in half a stack of dirt. It should work no matter how many items I have in this thing. Yeah, it's not dispensed. Oh, there, it dispensed it. Items are coming out. Okay, okay. Any second? No? What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the observer that goes over there. Okay. Alright. Where did my shulker box go? There it is. Okay, so we need an observer on top of that sticky piston. I've got to get over there. How the heck am I going to get over here? Yeah, this should work. Let's see. When building redstone contraptions, you ought to go ahead and dig yourself out more than what you're going to need for an area. So I need to get... Standing on top of that block's not going to be enough. I need to get like underneath this piston down in there. Yeah, let's just dig our way down. And then we'll come back up. There we go. Now it's facing the right direction. Let's try this system again. Oh boy. This is what happens when you build somebody else's redstone, not your own. No. I don't think there was really a tutorial on this video either. I just kind of built it from watching the guy, looking at it, and now we're building it again. Okay. Wait a second. Why did it kick that out? So it took one item out, and then instantly fired. What did I do wrong? See, I'm telling you, you gotta open this thing up. I should have gave myself so much more room to do my redstone. Maybe it's every time this observer goes up and down, it's detecting the blocks behind it? No? This shouldn't change anything by just digging out the side there. No. So that piston's extending. The observer is catching an update from where? Let's see. I'm just going to stare at this observer till the answer comes to me. Talk to me, observer. Maybe... Yeah, maybe it's these blocks here. Maybe I should have dug this out just a little bit more. And every time that observer slides up, it detects a block update, though. I don't think it just... I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to test in creative and see if this just sliding back and forth on blocks will create an update. I don't know. Let's get the rest of this dug out and we'll give her another test. Test number 17. Nope. So, what the heck? What is going on here? What did I do wrong? Like I said, there was no tutorial on this. This was just a guy kind of showing it off. And then I looked at him. He was on one side of it, went to the other side of it, and I just kind of built it. And I built it in creative to see if it would even work. And it did work, so I don't know why or what I did wrong here. Why this doesn't work. Did create a nice little clock there, though. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to jump over to my world and... Alright, I figured it out. This observer is in the wrong location. It doesn't sit on top of the sticky piston. It needs to set up a block. So there'll be a gap in between the sticky piston and the observer. And it getting such a fast pulse, it just pulls it down while the shulker box is being unloaded. So we actually need to place it right here. So when the shulker box unloads it, that piston, the sticky piston will fire, grabbing it, pulling it down, which will pulse the normal piston once it's completely unloaded. See how it pulled it down there instead of pushing it back up? Allows the items to flow into here. Then once they've all flown, it'll send a pulse back around through the comparators, kicking it off. So, very, very simple mistake there. And as you can see, there's all 32 items and the shulker box push. So we can take the shulker boxes out of the one side and push them into a shulker box loader so that all the items after they're smelted go right back into a shulker box and get distributed to a chest so I can take them to go do whatever I'm planning. Now, as far as these items, we need to create a hopper chain and an item elevator that'll take them to my super smelter to be smelted. So we're going to create a hopper chain heading off in that direction. And we got to be careful because we have a staircase going down, so hopefully we will miss that by coming over this way a ways. Sorry guys, it's early morning still, like I said. So we want this location here. Let me get my map out and write down some coordinates. 254, 62, 65. Alright. So hopefully we won't run into anything else and we can simply just dig straight down, run some hoppers, get it into a simple little dropper elevator, and all will be good. So we got to get down to Y level 62. And that is the top of my storage system. Crap. Now it looks like we're going to have to do multiple elevators. That's alright. I've got plenty of room. And with them giving us the availability of just shooting items into a glass 3x3 glass pillar, item elevators are easier than ever to actually make. So let's see, I'm on the half slab here. Dang it. So we're actually going to need to be up a block. Which means everything I just dug out needs to be redug. That's okay. Alright. So we did a little bit more digging. We've got a little bit of an item elevator kind of just straight in front of this shulker box. That takes it up, I think, 3 blocks and then runs it into a new hopper chain. So we're going to put 64 dirt, 32 stone bricks, and we are going to shove them in this chest here in a shulker box. We're going to wander off and go do some things around the base and throw away some crap in our inventory. And we're going to come back. Oh, things are smelting. No. We should get those items coming out of that glass elevator that I was just kind of pointing at. We're getting inventories cleaned out. I need to get these shulker boxes back in here and reorganized. I never did use these rails or this one minecart that have been sitting in my inventory this whole video. So items are popping out. You can see them coming up now, and it looks like they're pretty close to done. So there we go. We have 64 dirt and we have 32 stone bricks, just like we thought. There's our shulker box here. Eventually we'll have to hook that up to a shulker box loader. And we need to finish hooking this item elevator to that hopper there. And then that's the input for the smelting items. We'll have to do an input for coal and then an output once the items are smelted. But I have spent a lot of time on this, guys, today, working out the kinks. So I hope you enjoyed the video. When we come back next time, we'll finish up the output and coal input. We'll see you next time.